and those little blood vessels, the capillaries, you have to gradually to remove that any drug to get into the ventral humor. It takes it a long time to get out of there. I can tell you other cases where that was important. But anyway, Demi Jones, who now works in the lab at Richmond County, she was a SLED chemist, a PhD. She did the toxicology. She said none of the drug levels in her body are abnormal. I said, well, Demi, she lived for quite a few hours. Her body was reducing all those drug levels doing that all that time. I said, you know, she could have had a much higher drug level at some previous time, you know, while she was in surgery or whatever. It did damage to her brain, and then she just never came out of it. She said, well, that's possible. And she says, I think she probably had an idiosyncratic reaction to one of those drugs. And you know what an idiosyncrasy is. That is an unusual, odd occurrence, you know, something that just is a rare thing that occurs, maybe in one in many cases. And so she thought maybe this woman's body just reacted differently and to one of these drugs and brought about her cerebral edema and her death. So I got a medical record that was about that thick. And in studying the medical records, I found that she had been given by the surgeons rilperidol, also known as Anapsin, and morphine. Now, in studying those two drugs and the interaction of those two drugs, I found that if you give those two drugs together, you should give less of both. You should give less of those drugs. She weighed less than 100 pounds. She was a normal person, but she was only about 5 feet tall. She weighed about 97 or 8 pounds. Well, you know, veterinarians weigh their patients, and they give their patients medicines according to how much they weigh. Well, human doctors very often give a 300-pound man the same amount of drugs they give a 100-pound woman. Now, I don't know why they do this, but a lot of times, you know, when you get a bottle of a drug over the counter, it will say adults get 2 pills, right? You know, it doesn't say adults who weigh 300 pounds should take 3, and adults who weigh 100 pounds should just take 1. It says adults take 2. But anyway, so in studying this, I also found out that he just got his decimal in the wrong place, and he just gave her a massive overdose, and he killed her. Now, this doctor delivered my twin sons, but I never allowed anything in my whole life to cause me to show any partiality to anyone because I knew them, or because of their status, or their position, or their influence, or what they could do for me, or ever did for me, or whether they were from out of town or in town. It never mattered to me. That makes it pretty hard to get people to support you, because most people who support you when you run for office, to be honest with you, they're going to give you more money if they think that you can do something for them one day. And I make no promises to anyone, you know. But I did what I had to do, and I found the evidence, and this doctor, you know, he was sued, and her family collected millions of dollars, and I don't know exact amount. But that case probably would not have been solved. Many cases, that case probably would not have been solved. And you know, I could stand here and tell you many interesting cases, but I think that was a very interesting case. I'll tell you another interesting case. If somebody wants to talk about something, raise your hand. Yes, sir.
It's my understanding the coroner can arrest the sheriff.
That's what they tell me. I've always heard. They say that.
I mean, is that because of? Why is that?
Well,
he's the only one who can arrest the sheriff, right?
Let's go back to how the coroner came about. In England, a lot of the sheriffs have become very corrupt. They were getting away with murder. So the King of England, way back hundreds of years ago, decided to create one position that answered just to the king. No one had any authority over that position except the king. And the word coroner comes from the same word, it's a derivative of like coronary arteries. You know why they call coronary arteries coronary arteries? Well, if you look at the heart, coronary arteries come down and feed the blood into the heart. And they look like they crown the heart. They come from like a crown. They come from the top, they come down, and they supply the blood into the heart. So that's why they call those coronary arteries. Well, the coroner, it comes from the same crown. And so the coroner represented the crown. So he was given the authority to investigate deaths, and if he found that the sheriff was involved in some way, he could arrest the sheriff. But supposedly the sheriff cannot arrest the coroner. I've always wondered what would happen if the coroner needed to be arrested, and I believe what would happen would be the governor would have to tell the chief of SLED to arrest the coroner. It's hard to even get one removed from office who's not doing his job. I was president of the State Coroner Association 7 times, and I had one coroner who would not sign death certificates. He was really causing serious problems for families, and they were, they couldn't collect insurance, they couldn't settle estates. And I went to the governor at the time, met with his top staff, met with numerous people, and I wanted him removed from office, but they said we're not going to do it. We're just going to wait till the term runs out. And that's the way things happen. It's a constitutional office. Unless he committed a felony or was charged with committing a felony, it would be probably impossible to remove him from office. I'll tell you one other little story, and then maybe we can turn this over to somebody else. But there was an elderly lady in a taxi cab in New York City. She was in her mid-80s, and she died. And her body went to Dr. Milton Helton's office, the medical examiner. And he said, well, I'm going to do an autopsy. I don't know why she died. Her son-in-law was an attorney in New York, and he called Dr. Helton and he said, Dr. Helton, if you do an autopsy on my mother-in-law, I am going to sue you. She's 80-something years old. She obviously had a heart attack or stroke and died of natural causes while riding in the taxi cab. There was no one in there but the driver. He couldn't have done anything to her. And if you do an autopsy, I'm going to sue you. He said, well, sue me. So he did an autopsy.